Chapter 8. April. Brenton's mom. I have never known my son to act irrationally. But I must say I was a bit shocked and angry when he gave away all his computer equipment. Sure, my husband gets it for free through his work, but even so, it was thousands of dollars worth of electronics. You don't just give that away. And Brenton loved his computer. When I asked him why he gave it all away, he sort of shrugged and acted like I couldn't possibly understand. That's not like my son either. I thought he was going through one of those pre-teenage phases. Maybe this was his way of rebelling against his father. I should have punished him. Should have. You can always say that, can't you? Only later did I find out the real reason he gave his computer away.
Sam's mom. I went upstairs to change the sheets one day, and there was this fancy computer system sitting on Sam's desk. It was much nicer than the old PC we got from the Air Force. I asked him where he got it, and he said Brenton gave it to him. Well, that didn't sound right. You don't just give somebody something like that. I told Sam he had to give it back, but he said Brenton's father got lots of free computers, and he insisted that Brenton didn't want it. I called up Mrs. Damagachi, and she said it was true. She didn't know why Brenton didn't want it anymore. We figured boys will be boys.
Sam Dawkins, grade 5. My dad and I had a pretty hot game. My plan from the opening was to get my pieces onto good squares as soon as I could. I did that, and Dad actually made a few blunders. He let his rook get caught in front of his pawns, so they couldn't advance. By the time we reached the middle game, I was 2 pawns ahead. So I brought out my queen and let her have the run of the board. Dad always told me that one of the best forms of defense is to attack. So I did. After I captured his rook, he offered to call it a draw. I could have gone for the win, but I guess I just didn't have that killer instinct yet. But I had my first draw. Dad said I wasn't such a wood pusher anymore. That's what you call a weak player, a wood pusher. We started another game.
Miss Rasmussen, 5th grade teacher. There were all kinds of rumors swirling around, and I wasn't sure how to handle them. You don't want to punish students based on some silly gossip in the school paper or what somebody wrote in a bathroom stall. I was talking about it in the teacher's lounge, and one of the other teachers suggested I give the class a surprise test. That would tell me how much the students were remembering from their homework. Normally, I don't like the whole idea of giving tests for students this age, but it seemed like a good idea. I made up a multiple-choice test that covered just about everything we had studied all year. The solar system, the explorers, Arizona geography, everything. The children were a little surprised when I sprung it on them, to say the least.